Hello, everybody. This is Amira and Amila. Welcome to yet another episode of our podcast. Well, today we'll be talking about something absolutely contrasting to what we usually talk about. As many of you must be aware that we're fashion designers by profession, and nowadays when you talk about fashion, being eco-friendly is something really crucial. But what is eco-friendly fashion? How can we live a similar fashion lifestyle? What practices can one do to serve the mother nature, the consumers, and the designers? Or what we can do towards our mother nature concerning fashion? Well, that's exactly what we'll be talking about today. We wish to take this platform to spread awareness on conscious fashion. Podcasting is a ray of light in our lives, and it's the medium we believe we can reach out to a larger audience. As it's necessary, in our opinion, that all of us should be aware of how important being conscious of what we purchase for our daily wear is. So today, we'll be talking about all things fashion that's conscious and eco-friendly. So many of you must be wondering, what is conscious fashion? Conscious fashion, in simple words, is being conscious of choosing our daily wear. Have you ever given a thought about the clothing we choose to buy? Honestly, there is so much we can do for our nature just by the little decisions we make. So let's talk about 3 ways we can contribute to the movement of conscious fashion. Number 1. Take care of the clothes you already own. Well, there are pieces of clothing in our wardrobe sitting in a corner, good as new, but we avoid them as they are old, or just because it's been there forever, or just simply forgotten. Well, here's a reminder that you can still take care of those clothes in terms of the way you wash them and even drying. Make sure you're doing it with its right way of required care, and trust us, you can use one piece of clothing you brought years back, even today, and pair it up with any new bought clothing. And that's definitely one step. Also, you can opt out for upcycle clothing or simply upcycle your clothing yourself. Let's talk about some ways you can DIY. Number 1, you need a pair of scissors, a needle, and a ball of thread. That's it, and you're ready to get the creative best out of you and create something absolutely gorgeous as you like. For an example, you may cut out the sleeve of an existing shirt or a top and make it look like a whole new design. Or you can use two different clothing and cut them in between and create something totally fresh that's new, sustainable, and also so much fun. Number 2, painting. If you've got an old dress that's been hanging in your wardrobe for a long time and doesn't excite you to wear anymore, just paint it. Get some fabric paint and make some fun patterns or even tie-dye for that matter. Number 3, DIY hair accessories. Make your own scrunchies, hair scarves, and bandanas. You can use your old clothes or a piece of fabric you have in your wardrobe and transform them into some cool hair accessories. Getting back to the ways we can contribute to the movement of conscious fashion, let's now talk about the way number 2. Learn about textiles or fabrics that make your clothes. Have you ever wondered what fabrics must have been used to make the dresses you purchase? Some fabrics in the market is eco-friendly and some absolutely aren't. Some fabrics cause harm to the environment in a way we can't probably even imagine. Hence why it's so important to know how important it is to be aware of the fabric of the clothing we purchase, because by doing so indirectly you're doing so much for the well-being of our environment without even knowing. Number 3, shift away from fast fashion and support slow fashion brands. The difference between slow fashion and fast fashion, you may ask? Slow fashion is a movement where fabric is purchased or produced in a limited number, also made to mostly order in small batches, which eventually avoids the waste of the fabric that goes into the entire process of the procedure. Fast fashion, on the other hand, is the exact opposite. This is where mostly fabric is purchased or produced in bulk and is also sold at bulk, which leads to the waste of the fabric, if not sold, or if found errors, simply discarded, which ends up in the trash. So now you know the difference and why slow fashion is important. Lastly, as designers, our contribution to the movement of conscious fashion, our label represents as a slow fashion brand, and we follow the same rules as explained earlier, which is why we are focusing more on wearing silhouette designs and less on the stock, which makes most of our pieces limited in stock, but definitely meeting the requirements of the buyer, and most importantly, serving our best practices to the Mother Nature. Thank you so much for listening, you guys. Hope you all enjoyed listening to the content different from what you usually get to hear from us. Here's to a fashion lifestyle of consciousness.